Hi, I'm Dr. Ty Hunt-Caesar, Infectious Disease Specialist and the Virgin Islands Department of Health's Medical Director. Many of you may be wondering how the COVID-19 vaccines work and why they are important. The Moderna and Pfizer vaccines we are offering in the Virgin Islands are about 95% effective at preventing severe disease or death. Here are some things you should know. Like all existing vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines are safe. They cannot give someone the infection because these mRNA vaccines do not contain the live virus that causes COVID-19. Despite how they sound, they do not affect or interact with your DNA in any way. The vaccine prepares your body in case you become infected. It teaches your immune system to make antibodies so that once it encounters the virus, it's ready to fight it off. These antibodies stay in your bloodstream ready to protect you in case the virus shows up. The vaccine helps to give you immunity against the virus, and if you get infected, you won't experience severe sickness or death. When enough of us get the COVID-19 vaccine, the virus will have nowhere to go. That will slow the spread in our community. This is what we refer to as herd immunity. That's how we will get closer to ending the pandemic. To learn more about the COVID-19 vaccines, please visit covid19usvi.com/vaccines.
Virgin Islanders, and welcome to the Government House weekly press briefing on our COVID-19 update for the week of May 3rd, 2021. Today is a sad day for Government House. Yesterday we learned that one of our staffers, unfortunately, has succumbed to her illness. Shauna Bass was an excellent human being and will be warmly remembered for her tenacious spirit, her dedication to the people of the Virgin Islands, and her sometimes crazy candor with the governor of the Virgin Islands. She battled for over a year with cancer, and now she has gone home to meet her maker. A lot of us here at Government House are overwhelmed by the feelings of sadness we had for Shauna, and she will be sorely missed. And on behalf of the entire Government House, my family, we want to wish her family God's peace and condolences as they go through this difficult time. As a result of some of this news being spread this morning, today we're going to have Mr. Richard Mota joining us, who will do the report for the Health Commissioner, as well as provide some of the updates on COVID-19 and where you can get tested for free this week or get the vaccine. I also have with me today Department of Human Services Commissioner Kimberly Gomez to provide an update on the pandemic EBT program that we have going on. But before we go to Commissioner Encarnacion, to Richard Mota this afternoon, I want to thank the more than 200 individuals in the community who attended the One Night, One Fed vaccinated-only event. It was a safe, healthy, and fun-filled event that was a fantabulous success. We look forward to hosting more vaccinated-only events as a safe way to slowly returning to normalcy. I would be remiss if I also didn't thank our esteemed entertainer, Farmer Nappy, for putting on a wonderful experience for not only Virgin Islanders, but for soca fans worldwide. Commissioner Richard Mota.
Good afternoon, everyone. Reporting for the Department of Health on behalf of Commissioner Encarnacion. As of May 1st, 2021, the Department of Health has tested a total of 103,134 persons, of which 3,138 have tested positive and 99,996 have tested negative. There are currently 62 active cases of COVID-19 in the territory, 18 on St. Croix, 42 on St. Thomas, and 2 on St. John. 3,049 cases have recovered, and unfortunately, we have had 27 fatalities related to COVID-19. Update from our hospitals. The Governor Wang F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center reports 1 COVID-19 case, and the Schneider Regional Medical Center also reports 1 COVID-19 case or patients admitted to those hospitals as a result of COVID-19. Our surveillance efforts continue as our epidemiology team works to conduct contact tracing and investigation. Our epidemiology hotline remains open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. for callers to report suspected cases of COVID-19. Those numbers on St. Croix is 340-712-6299, and in the St. Thomas, St. John district, that number is 340-776-1519. Last week, our positivity rate was 1.11. This week, it is 1.86%, and that's the 7-day positivity rate. We are still confirming new cases of COVID-19 in the territory, but with increased vaccination, we can get to 0. Kudos to the Department of Tourism's Division of Festival for a job well done on their vaccine fete. Vaccinated individuals were invited to party with Farmer Nappy, Spectrum Band, Cool Sessions Brass, and more. This successful event is a testament of how well vaccines work. We can return to normalcy. We can have fun and celebrate our culture again. We can jump up and wave, but it takes all of us to do our part and get vaccinated. We must remain vigilant and practice the prevention tips that we continue to share. Those are wearing your mask, Avoid mass gatherings if you are not vaccinated, and stay home when sick. You can pre-register for pop-up testing online at covid19usvi.com/testing. Here are this week's upcoming pop-up events. In St. Thomas, on Tuesday, May 4th, the Department of Health will be conducting pop-up testing in the St. Thomas Home Depot parking lot from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. On St. Croix, also on Tuesday, the Department of Health will be conducting that pop-up testing at the Canigata Rec Center parking lot, and that will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. In St. John, on Wednesday, May 5th, the Department of Health will be conducting that testing from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Port Authority gravel yard. Testing is readily available to everyone, and especially to those who suspect they may be sick or may have been exposed. Please call the hotline if you are experiencing a cough, shortness of breath, chills, or other COVID-19 symptoms. The vaccine is also accessible to anyone 16 and over. Getting vaccinated is simple, free, and once again, I encourage everyone to take their best shot against this virus. Being vaccinated will avoid the need for repeat testing. We are seeing a slight decrease in our vaccination numbers, and on our way to reaching our goal of vaccinating 50,000 unique individuals by July 1st. So far, 37,034 first doses have been administered and 27,432 second doses, for a total of 64,466 total shots in arms. We are 12,966 first doses away from reaching our goal, which brings us closer to achieving herd immunity. Vaccine data analysis reveals 94% of those vaccinated in the territory are residents of the territory, and 6% are classified as non-resident. To everyone who has taken their best shot, thank you for helping us fight the pandemic. The vaccination data also showed lower vaccination numbers in persons between the ages of 18 and 40, and higher numbers among the elderly. Epidemiology data has consistently shown more positive cases in the same age group, which is the age group of age 18 to 40. Young people, you love to fet. Get vaccinated so you can fet safely and not run the risk of sharing the virus with your older family members or friends who may have underlying health conditions such as hypertension, asthma, or diabetes. If you are interested in scheduling an appointment to get vaccinated, please call the vaccination hotline number, which is 340-777-8227, or you can visit us online to schedule your appointment at covid19usvi.com/vaccines. Business awards for health initiatives. So the Department of Health is embarking on a new initiative where they will be awarding businesses. So on Monday, May 10th, the environmental health team will be visiting businesses to determine their level of commitment toward health initiatives. Businesses, you too can receive a 3-star rating. We will come to you, but if you want to see us sooner, please contact us at inspection.deh@doh.vi.gov. Again, that email is inspection.deh@doh.vi.gov. I think this is a good opportunity for some of our businesses to really showcase and get that 3-star rating, that they have been following these health guidelines and doing the best that they can to protect their customers. Reminders, on May 10th, the community vaccination centers will relocate from both UVI campuses to the Nissan Center on St. Croix, which is in La Grande Princesse, adjacent to the Honda dealership and the paint shop, on the same side of the street as Food Town. And the community health clinic on the 2nd floor at the Schneider Regional Medical Center on St. Thomas. Please note If you have an appointment before May 10th for first or second doses, your appointment location is at the UVI CVCs on your respective island. To keep up with the latest information, please visit the United States Virgin Islands Department of Health's Facebook page or our website at www.covid19usvi.com. And for COVID-19 health information alerts, text COVID-19 USVI, all one word, to 888-777. Thank you. That concludes the briefing from Health's perspective this afternoon. Governor Bryan.
Thank you, Director Mota. Really appreciate the updates. And now we have some good news from Commissioner Kimberly Causey Gomez from the Department of Human Services. Commissioner?
Good afternoon, Governor, everyone in the Virgin Islands listening. I'm thrilled to share with you some exciting news that will positively impact our territory in a variety of ways. The month of May highlights both Foster Care Awareness and Older Americans Month. In addition, National Small Business Week and Correctional Officer Week are also coming up. Today's update, we're focused on children, families, and seniors who we love and care for every day. The Virgin Islands Department of Human Services has submitted a state plan to the Federal Food and Nutrition Service Agency, or FNS, for a third round of food assistance, PEBT-3, short for Pandemic Electronics Benefits Transfer. It's an additional food assistance benefit for children and students in K-5 through 12th grade enrolled in public and eligible private schools offering free lunch programs. This was the most comprehensive plan our Division of Family Assistance has submitted thus far, as it seeks to cover the entire 2020-2021 school year from August 2020 to September 2021. With this plan, we're serving an additional 4,000 children, increasing the number of children served from about 13,000 to over 17,000 in our territory. PEBT is provided via an electronic benefit card that can be used in participating grocery stores and convenience stores for food items. As the pandemic continues and the ability to attend school continues to be interrupted, the federal government has expanded and extended these benefits. This third issuance of PEBT will not only include all children in public and private eligible schools, will also be extended to current SNAP families with children under the age of 6. Please be reminded that SNAP families do not need to contact our office to receive these benefits, as they'll automatically be added to their accounts. Additionally, the Department of Human Services Division of Family Assistance anticipates a summer issuance of PEBT benefits to positively impact food and nutrition needs when school is out. DHS and our Family Assistance team have been working night and day with FNS since March 2020 to secure assistance for our territory. A special thank you goes out to them. Please understand this is not an automatic benefit to our territory, but once this plan has been approved by FNS this month, DHS will provide a detailed plan for how and when these benefits will roll out. For more information about PEBT, please visit the DHS website at www.dhs.gov.vi, or families may call the PEBT customer service line at 340-772-7120, or email pebt@dhs.vi.gov with the subject header calling PEBT. Well, in addition to that, to ensuring that our family and children are taken care of during this time that's left everybody very stressed out and in need of temporary assistance to navigate the pandemic, our Medicaid division is announcing an exciting new business opportunity. During this month, Older Americans Month, and National Small Business Week, the DHS VI Medicaid division is thrilled to launch a program to help small businesses grow and new businesses get off the ground through our Personal Care Attendant in-home services program. The need for in-home personal care attendant services is great. Nearly 20% of our total population in the Virgin Islands is over 65 years old and requires some level of assistance with daily activities. PCAs assist clients with activities of daily living, like personal grooming, light housekeeping, walking, positioning, meal prep, shopping, feeding, and more. This program will benefit one of our most underserved populations, our senior citizens, as well as the USVI business community, the disabled, and our entire Virgin Islands community. Are you a church with a 501c3, a nonprofit, a medical practice, or an entrepreneur? Anyone interested in getting yourself or your organization paid by Medicaid to provide in-home personal care attendant services, this is your opportunity. Very little startup capital is needed, and anyone with at least a high school diploma who is able-bodied with a clean background check can become a personal care attendant. We're going to be having a forum via Zoom Friday, May 7th from 10:30 to 12, and on Tuesday, May 11th from 1:30 to 3. Please contact us at the Medicaid department through the information provided on the screen, and if it's not on the screen, I'll make sure that it's put into the comment section in Facebook to participate in our virtual information sharing session. Our Office of Child Care and Regulatory Services also has some great news for our child care providers. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families, focused on COVID-19 relief options and additional resources, has invited VI child care providers to a webinar to learn about eligibility for the Paycheck Protection Program and other benefit programs. This webinar is hosted by the U.S. Small Business Administration on Wednesday, May 5th in English from 10 to 11:30 and Thursday, May 6th from 5 to 6:30. We're going to register and attend to learn about the Paycheck Protection Program, COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan, COVID-19 guidance and resources. We'll make sure that the registration link is also on the Facebook page. Finally, I want to close by highlighting, in honor of Correctional Officer Week, personally thanking our devoted correctional officers and our staff who work 24/7 in our Youth Rehabilitation Center, and our amazing and dedicated social workers and staff in our Division of Children and Family Services, who serve the most other vulnerable population on a 24/7 basis, our children and families. It is Foster Care Awareness Month, and we at the Department of Human Services want to say a special thank you to all our foster families who make it possible for us to provide safe, loving, and temporary homes while we work to strengthen and reunify families. If you're interested in becoming a foster parent, we urgently need more individuals and families who have room in their homes and, more importantly, in their hearts to assist families in crisis. To consider becoming approved foster parents and/or emergency or interim respite caregivers, please give us a call at 340-773-5303 or 340-473-5794. The Department of Human Services team works tirelessly to make a difference in our community, and we're grateful for the privilege to serve. Our sincerest condolences goes out to Shauna Bass's family and friends and all of our government of the Virgin Islands that knew and loved her very much. She is very special. Thank you, Governor and team. This ends my remarks, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. It was really exciting to see our team at work at Department of Human Services, whereby we're going to be getting much-needed assistance to families with school-aged children. That's you're getting your PEBT, and that's from August of last year all the way forward. Those are going to be forthcoming real soon, as well as new opportunities to serve our community by helping with your seniors. People are able now, individuals are able to get and offer this assistance to seniors. Something is much needed. Sometimes in the day, just to see a smiling face means so much to our seniors. So I encourage you to tune into the webinar and get involved with what's going on at Human Services. Yesterday I was out at the cricket pitch in Grove Place. Caught a little cricket there. It was really exciting to see how the warm reception that people gave me, and was able to talk about, Governor, where you been? I said, it's COVID. I'm not as mobile as I used to be, but I'm feeling encouraged by the amount of you that were sharing with me that you were vaccinated and still wearing your mask out there in public. That was very encouraging as well. I really appreciate people and seeing people again, families around in their cars and separated, and some of the kids down there playing a little bit too. I really want to say what a great job we're doing in getting those vaccines out there. But each day that passed in the year since we initially declared the state of emergency from here in the U.S. Virgin Islands from this pandemic, we have learned more and more about this COVID-19. We have been incredible in terms of the response, as today, while countries, unfortunately, like India and Brazil continue to struggle, we're at a 1.86 positivity rate. But that day-to-day learning that we've had over the last year did not preclude us from keeping our community safe and well. The same is true for this vaccine, and as I move among you, there are still a little bit of doubting Thomases out there. But we learn something new about the vaccine almost daily. But now, 6 months since our vaccination rollout here, and almost 6 months since I've had it, we know that, number one, first and foremost, it is saving lives. It's irrefutable that this vaccine is helping, as you see, the death count in the United States and the infection rates in the United States, and the hospitalizations have dropped dramatically. Number two, we know that the vaccine significantly reduces the chances of Virgin Islands getting severely ill from the virus. We know that. We know that since we've been putting in the work in the vaccines, we're seeing less prevalence in our hospitals, in our police force, in our restaurants. There's proof to show the infection rates that we were getting before have been positively affected by the dispersion of this vaccine. And number three, we know that once you are vaccinated, there's significantly less a chance of you spreading the virus. So when you're out and about, if 3 of you are vaccinated and one person isn't, and that person has the virus, that virus isn't going home with you. It's not going home to your friends, family, grandma, auntie, anybody else. It stopped right there. And that's what we're talking about when we're saying herd immunity and being able to block the virus from spreading. These three factors, though, are amongst others, have kept our positivity rate at 1%. And undeniably, it has kept Virgin Islanders out of the hospital, and that is why we encourage you to get vaccinated. It is our best shot at defeating this virus. The best way I've heard it say, people are saying they don't know what the vaccine is going to do to them. But we do know what COVID is going to do to you. And even though people sometimes say, well, the death rate in the Virgin Islands isn't that high, the damage that COVID has done to the body isn't recorded anywhere. Damage to your heart, your lungs, your kidneys. You don't see any statistics about that. We're going to be dealing with this virus for the long haul. It's like going into war and refusing to wear a bulletproof vest or a helmet. Is just your best chance of making it out safely. It might not stop that bullet, but definitely it'll slow it down. But in addition to all our community vaccine centers, our Office of Veterans Affairs is also holding a COVID-19 vaccinations to all Virgin Islanders, veterans, their spouses, their widows, and their caregivers. They've been doing this program now, and now they've expanded it to spouses and their caregivers, and it's going to be available in St. Croix. You could get your vaccination at the old Nissan building in La Grande Princess on Tuesday, May 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and on Wednesday, May 5th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Veterans in the St. Thomas, St. John district have already received their vaccinations this past Thursday and Friday in St. Thomas. Remember, too, it's a 2-dose, so they'll be back to make sure that they give you the second dose of the shot. I want to thank Director Patrick Farrell and his entire team at the Office of Veteran Affairs for their efforts in ensuring our veterans are taken care of. I also want to thank all you caregivers out there, doctors, doctors' offices, pharmacists, because we're not only giving the vaccine in the community vaccine centers, but all of those other outlets are continue to give vaccines out there. We got, 12,000, 13,000 to go. We can do it, Virgin Islander. Don't wait. Go to the vaccine center today, right now, walk down and get your vaccine. Every year, it gets harder and harder for working families to survive. As inflation rates grow, rents soar, and things go up. But it's even getting harder for them to send their kids to college. But this is why Tregenza and I push so hard to get free tuition at the University of the Virgin Islands. But some of our students are interested in subject matter that is not offered there, or they want to study abroad and be able to meet new people and do new things and new opportunities. Last year, as part of our overall COVID-19 relief effort that helped people pay their light bills, assisted people in homelessness, and try to get as much food to our students and our people who have vulnerable lifestyles, we also dedicated $1 million in scholarship money and set it aside for all Virgin Islanders who graduated from VI high schools that were going to trade school or college. This scholarship program has now awarded $257,000 to Virgin Islanders who are college-bound last year. Each student, as I said, is eligible for a $1,000 a $1,000 check and only needs to write a COVID appeal letter saying how COVID has put hardship on your family to the Board of Education to get that. There are no income restrictions on this. This is money that is available to you. If you're headed to college, we want to help. This year, we want to continue that effort, and we will offer the same scholarship to 2021 high school graduates that are headed off to post-secondary education. In addition, all of the 2020 graduates who received the money last year may reapply and get another $1,000 to go to school this year. We're really looking at how that money is running, and we will maybe making additions to it as we move forward to allow for people to get that money. We just want to make sure that our continued commitment to the education of our young people is taken advantage of to its fullest. So don't sleep on this cash. Please write in and get it. We will also be soon announcing our plans for what we're calling this summer, the Summer of Learning. We will be doing unprecedented programs and dedicating millions of dollars towards numeracy and literacy for our children. This initiative will bring new activities, new programs, career exploration, and most importantly, tutorials at a time that is most critical and it is most critically needed. Our students deserve access to the best education that we as a community can afford, and we are intent on giving it to them. So look out for more announcements coming from the Office of the Governor in Education, also for providers who will be able to give them the opportunity to write in for grants and qualify to train students in tutorials. If you're a teacher, please stay with us for the summer. We want you to be able to offer tutorials to our students and parents out there. We're working on ways to get your students stimulated, not only mentally in terms of numeracy and literacy, but also on the sports field. And Commissioner White will be having some news about that as well. As promised, what you all tune in to hear, Virgin Islanders residents who qualify for a $1,400 stimulus payment under the American Rescue Plan will start receiving those checks in the mail later this week. So your $1,400 is on the way. We have completed the processing now of the $600 stimulus payments under the CARES Act 2 stimulus program. And like I said, no good deed goes unpunished. The director extended the program so he can make sure he gives everybody that $600 who qualified, and that has been delaying the issuance somewhat of this $1,400. But those checks now are being printed, and they'll be out. So far, we have issued 41,524 $600 checks. That's approximately almost 90% of the tax filers who filed their 2019 income tax. Actually, it's 92% of the people who file an income tax return have received their stimulus payment, and that we have provided an additional $36,137,949 in needed assistance to Virgin Islands families. Those figures do not include the additional 6,736 checks totaling $4.3 million that was paid out to our Social Security recipients. Remember, the vast majority of the remaining individuals either did not qualify because they made too much money and their income is too high, or have an issue with their 2019 tax return filing. If you did not receive a $600 stimulus and you believe you don't fall in one of those buckets that don't qualify, please make it your business to call the hotline at IRB 714-9325. As you know, a lot of people are calling all the time, not only about their stimulus checks, but about tax returns and other tax issues. So please, they are overwhelmed with calls, but be patient, you'll get through. And if you can't wait, you can always take a trip down to the IRB and visit the nice people there. So those offices are located in Sunny Isles and St. Croix, and of course in Red Hook, out by the St. John Ferry in St. Thomas. I was at IRB the other day. I walked the offices and I met so many people in the St. Thomas side. I'm coming to St. Croix side too. I just want to tell you, every single person I met there had stacks of paper surrounding them. I was working their tail off. So I just want to say thank you to those hardworking people at IRB, Bureau of Internal Revenue, as well as the Department of Finance, who've been cranking it out, trying to get these checks. Remember, they're doing all of this in addition to all the other stuff they do, trying to get these programs and these monies to needy families out there and help them. Also, other good news, remember, we still have rental assistance in the community. So if you need help with that, you can get your paperwork in. Please, it's 60 days processing time because we're having a lot of people participate in this program. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program is open and it's running. We're trying to get those things done. For more information on how you can receive assistance under that, you got to go to vihfa.gov/ERAP. I always tell people Google it. It's easier to remember. Just say Rental Assistance Virgin Islands. It'll click you right on to the Housing Finance website. Or you can call them at 772-4432 or 777-4432. Also remember, we're going to have mortgage assistance as well. We're beefing up that program now and getting it ready to roll out. I just want people to understand that every single one of these programs, these are new things with a lot of money. So it's not about just issuing checks. We got to go out, we got to write a plan, we got to get it approved by the federal government, we got to come back, execute the plan, hire people, get software that actually works to develop the program, create criteria, rules and regulation. Then and only then we could start to accept people into the program and then decide who gets a check, who doesn't. You know, our downtown areas for a long time have been an integral part of not only our culture, but our tourism product. And for years we have talked about what we can do and development of these downtown areas. But the Brian Roach administration is not talking. We're just not talking. We're doing something about it. And is that our intent to continue to develop our downtown areas? So in some non-COVID news, as this afternoon, I wish to announce that we will be submitting to the Senate an appropriation bill to earmark $1.5 million towards the renovation and refurbishment of the waterfront in Frederiksted, from Dorsch Beach all the way down to Meadrake Commons Park. As part of that, we're going to be working with some nonprofits to create an incredible playground facility there at Meadrake Commons that we all going to be proud of. It will refresh the area, all that waterfront area, and conduct some necessary repairs, such as the lighting along the pier, repairs to the fish market, and all of those little picnic tables that you get as you're driving down to the Frederiksted pool. So we are also pleased to announce that we have, today has a downtown theme. We want to make sure that our towns start to look like and exemplify who we are as a people. So I want to also recognize that we have a massive push in Frederiksted, not only in terms of infrastructure, like the things that I announced, but in terms of art, music, and bringing tourists. We're going to make some more announcements later on about cruise ships and cruise ship passengers returning to the islands. In Christiansted now, we also want to announce that we have awarded a bid proposal to a company called Neighborhood Establishments for the redevelopment of Hotel on the Key property. It's finally, after I think it was a 100-year lease or a 50-year lease that we were engaged on. We're getting the property back. The main principal of this company is Chris Pardo, who currently has investments. He has a hotel operating right now, the Waves out at Cane Bay, as well as the King Christian Hotel down here in Christiansted. Neighborhood establishment was selected through a competitive RFP bidding process managed by the Department of Property and Procurement. But I want to add that we didn't only use property and procurement, we actually went out and got attorneys, people who are business people who are used to evaluating these types of proposals to participate in the bid process so that, number one, we would have the expertise that we needed to pick somebody who actually has the resources to complete the project. And then number two, to add transparency to the community, as this is a huge project for Christiansted. The redevelopment of the Key Hotel will be complemented by the work being done now by the National Park on the bulkhead in Christiansted and the boardwalk that's to continue. We're also in the process of moving out the last remains of Gallows Bay and helping doing new things to develop the marina, including the dredging of the Gallows Bay Marina. Port Authority will be moving all those operations to the south shore of St. Croix later this year, which will open up commercial centers now and a lot more traffic and beauty to our downtown Christiansted. But I'm really excited about this partnership by Mr. Pardo because the beautiful in this, he has a successful track record of making real investments in tourism. This is not somebody who is just talking, but has actually invested in St. Croix already and shown that his commitment to our islands. Hotel on the Key is a prime property in our Christiansted area and in the government's inventory of property. And once managed by a serious and conscientious developer, I think this will signal a real resurgence in the hospitality industry for St. Croix. These are just the latest of two initiatives in our continued efforts to revitalize our downtown infrastructure here on the island of St. Croix. But certainly on St. Thomas too, the Main Street Revitalization Project on St. Thomas is now wrapping up. It's substantially complete. We have started to pave all the way up into Garden Street because those roads weren't looking too good connecting to Main Street, so we decided to do Bunker Hill and Garden Street as part of completing that. Just to make our entire community start to be uplifting and look good. The Senate tomorrow should be taking action on our appropriation request to repair the Kings Alley Wharf Hotel. The pier there was destroyed by the hurricane, and we set aside some money there to make sure that we have a boat dock there in the Christiansted Boat Walk. We also will be looking at the money that we have sent down and appropriated to put the tender pier in Frederickstead. We've been talking about that right next to the Ann Abramson Pier, which will allow for divers and scuba enthusiasts to go off of that. It will also allow for the charter boats now coming to Frederickstead to be able to come into town and shop. We now have brand new water lines in Christiansted and Frederickstead. We should be finally seeing an end to the brown water issues that plagued us for so many years with all of those rusty pipes. We're making that infrastructure. WAPA is about to commence with the burial of all of the electrical cables in Cruz Bay and St. John. We ain't forget you. We want to get that done and get those Cruz Bay roads paved up again. This is going to make St. John more resilient, along with all the other projects we are going over here. The Waste Management Authority is set to embark upon a comprehensive rehab in the Christiansted sewer system. This is the reason why we haven't paved the roads as yet. More digging to do. So water is in, power is in. Now we're going to get the sewage in as well, and then we're going to repave it nice. And we are building on the infrastructure that we have in our downtowns that will allow our towns to remain commercial hubs of our economy far, far into the future. Now, there's a lot of information that we share when I come on here, but in closing this afternoon, as we approach National Police Week, I had the privilege of visiting with some of our new law enforcement recruits currently in the academy, and I was pleased to see all of the bright young faces and the diversity of backgrounds that will now complement our police force. I'm particularly proud that we have in the academy future members of our auxiliary police. For the first time in 10 years, we have the auxiliary police force back again, and this is one thing about the administration, continuous effort to recruit new officers to the ranks of our police. I just want to say, too, that in a time of the nation when people of color, black and brown, are being hunted and sometimes targeted by law enforcement officials and are scared to drive home because they don't know if somebody's going to pull them over, the law enforcement that they pay to serve them will do something to harm them. Here in the Virgin Islands, we don't have that. I want to ask each and every one of you that when you see those officers doing their job, even if they're giving you a ticket, you thank our men and women in blue and all our law enforcement officers for the very, very tough job of keeping our people safe. And my message to the young recruits this week was, your job is to keep us safe. You can't keep us safe if you don't know us, if you don't establish relationships, if you don't do the things that makes the community understand that the police force are part of us, and we are part of the police force, and together we could wipe out crime in the Virgin Islands. Before I leave this afternoon, my office, along with the Department of Tourism and the Caribbean Media Exchange, have set up a relief drive to assist our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I had the pleasure of talking to Prime Minister Gonzalez, who is one of my greatest idols. I really admire his leadership, his candor, and his tenure there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we organized a drive, and I want you to help. I know some people in the community are also participating in a drive. We've coordinated with the local government and the shippers to ship trailers down there free of charge. So we're trying to get water and different food, clothing, mats for those people in St. Vincent. It's so hard hit by the volcano. So if you can, please donate those items to the collection sites. One of the trailers is up here at Seaside Deli on St. Croix in the parking lot, and on St. Thomas, it's at Crown Bay in the Virgin Islands Port Authority facility there. And for more information, you can visit the website at cmexmedia.org or contact Roseanne Farrington at the Department of Tourism, or Ms. Frances Williams, who is over here on St. Croix. They can give you some more information about how you could take part in making somebody's day better. Your Caribbean people right there in St. Vincent. Thank you in advance for donating to that cause. I'll stop now and take some questions from the press if there are any.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are we doing today?
Good, Lasiba.
Awesome. So my first question is for you, Commissioner Kazi Gomez. Has the recent vaccine push impacted DHS's plan for hurricane shelters? I know in the past that, like last year, we had a significant reduction in how many people can go to shelters. I'm wondering if there's an update because of our good work with the vaccination effort.
We're still developing the plan regarding that. We've identified all our shelters. We've done their shelter inspections as well. I think part of it is to ensure that those that are vaccinated, maybe we treat that a little bit differently, but we're also looking at non-congregate spaces as a safer option. So we're in the process of that, and once we get it all situated, we'll make sure we make the announcement by June 1st.
And has there been any word on any MOUs that have been entered into with hotels? I know that was one idea for non-congregate spaces.
We're looking at a little bit of a different space. Department of Health did some non-congregate stuff when it came to COVID, and we did a little bit with some of our senior population in St. Thomas. We're looking at more of a general spaces of schools and utilizing private schools and or UVI. So we're still in discussions with them. MOUs are pretty detailed, so we want to make sure that we have all the T's crossed and I's dotted.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And Governor, I think it was last week, the EPA said that they were going to be sending out a team to come get boots on the ground to monitor what's going on with Lime Tree Bay, the emission of the odors and whatnot.
Right.
I was wondering if the EPA has communicated to you since then with an update. Is a team here, and any information on that?
I know the team is here, but they haven't provided any education. Information. They're usually very tight-lipped about their investigations until they have a thorough understanding on what has occurred and are ready to brief the public. They're very cautious to make sure that they don't have any misinformation. So we should get an update soon from our Commissioner, J.P. Oriel, about what's happening, but I doubt we'll have any final word for a couple of weeks at least.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lasiba. We also have a question from VI Consortium. Go ahead.
Yes,
Hey, Ernest.
here you go. A few questions quickly. I know you mentioned, which is very big news here, about the development of the hotel on the Quay and the contractor being chosen. Is there a way we could find out, or do you know the other bidders in the process?
Say that again, the other what?
So the other bidders. So those, any other company that bid for development of the hotel on the Quay? Do we have any other companies that tried to get that project?
Absolutely. That's public information. You could ask Property and Procurement. I can't remember who else bid. I think it was 3 bids totally, and that team, Neighborhood, won.
Okay, great. I had a question. So there's a story in consortium today relative to one woman who, lost her husband, and the Department of Labor owing some $20,000 in pandemic and both regular unemployment benefits. The question I have there is, what happens to funds that are owed by the government, in this case the Department of Labor, to a resident whose spouse has died, or this person dies? What happens to those monies?
Well, if there were money that are owed in arrears, they would go to the estate of the person who passed away. Well, usually the wife has some of that power and would be able to cash those checks. But unless there's some kind of probate or some kind of delegation of authority, those monies won't be able to be spent because they were already earned. There has to be some legitimate way for her. But even if we gave her a check, I think it would be difficult for her to cash that check at the bank without her husband. She probably would be able to deposit into an account that was his, but the process continues up to the time of the weeks he's claimed because that money is owed to the individual.
So you're saying even if someone dies and this person leaves behind folks, it is very difficult for those persons to get the money?
Sometimes, if it's direct deposit, it'll be deposited into their account. It's the same thing where we have people who are owed retroactive pay who died, and then it goes to their estate. So the check is going to have the person's name on it. If you can deposit it in an account with that person's name on it, and most people have a money card or whatever that they can use. But if that account has been closed, it becomes difficult in cashing that check. You can get a power of attorney or the probate decision of the court, and then they could issue the check to the spouse or whoever is the executor of the estate. But that's more of the legal issues surrounding probate, which is something that we also need to talk about because we have a lot of unsettled real estate and other estates that are not settled because people don't have an opportunity to prepare for their demise. That's not a big issue. I think it's the same thing with cars. We just went through vetoing a piece of legislation that authorized people to take ownership of cars for people who are deceased. All of these are matters of the estate and have to be settled by attorneys before we could just give checks to people. And even if we give it to them, they can't cash it unless they have an account with that person's name on it.
And so you've been at the Department of Labor, Governor, for some time, before you became governor there. Do you have an idea as to how many of those cases actually get resolved and how often the government winds up taking claim of those funds?
In my time at the Department of Labor, I've never ran across this before. I don't know what the information about the individual is, and if the individual was sick for a prolonged period of time or the person died immediately, that would have impact as well too, because if they were sick and bedridden in the hospital, they wouldn't be eligible for unemployment checks. You have to be ready and available to work. So those are some of the things that have to be looked at as well too. So a lot of audits are going to be coming the way of people collecting unemployment checks and how they're using that money and if they're actually getting other income. Just like the COVID fraud thing, we're going to be catching people. So for this individual, I don't know what the holdup was or why they didn't get paid, but I encourage them. That check is going to come because the process is not going to stop at labor if they haven't gotten it already, but they need to see an attorney on how they get access to those funds.
Governor, lastly, you mentioned some of the portion of the checks are going to start coming out this week. Do you have an idea as to how many of those checks, a number on how many will be distributed this week?
I think we send in 10,000 at a time, somewhere around that. That's our goal.
Okay. All right, Governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ernest. I think that exhausts all our questions for the day. Hoping to see some of you now vaccinated as I move around the territory. This is going to be another beautiful week in the Virgin Islands. Remember, stay safe, stay sanitized. Love you. Have a great day.